Welcome to the 15th and final chapter in our series, or for this session. This is operations management. Operations management talks about an all-encompassing area, really. And some of you may work in operations where the command and control and those types of things are important. But it's an application of transformation of process. So it's a way to make improvements in operations. A lot of opportunity here, really, if in the work world. So you'll be able to read about those. So ops management, we have inputs and we have outputs. And this might fall under industrial engineering and those types of areas of study. There's always an opportunity here. But we've got inputs for people, technology, capital or money, equipment technology are similar. It could be machine tools, things to make things. Our raw materials, such as materials, and then information. We transform that into output, which are goods and services that are fit for sale in the marketplace. Service firms, manufacturing firms. The biggest difference is service firms don't have inventory, whereas manufacturing firms do have physical inventory. That's the most often cited difference. Productivity is just how long it takes to make a process complete. Okay, if we can reduce that, this is why robotics and machine tools have helped us where formerly it might have been done all by hand. Deming was a person that was really the father of modern process engineering, productivity, and improvement. So he had 14 points, and they were very well done. Essentially, it was planned for long term. Now, don't be complacent about quality. Quality is a relative term, but in the Deming sense, quality is, does it fit specifications? Those specifications will have to be modified as quality demanded by the customer changes, and it's usually on the increase. He established statistical controls for, so it's random samples, didn't have to sample everything necessarily to check on its fit into the quality standards. Do the most with the best, or do the best with the fewest number of suppliers, and look for problems before they become unmanageable. Operations are also, part of the company strategy and integral to long-term profitability. If you don't manage inventory well, you're going to be in trouble. Value chain management. Value chains are an interesting idea in that every process should add value. So that's why it's a chain. So it's a process that goes over time, connects things together, and then becomes output or a finished good. So that value chain management is all the steps, like for example, to turn raw material then into a final finished good, such as this motorcycle. The goals of value chain management are pretty straightforward: to create value along the way. So if you can do without a step or combine steps or make a step more efficient, you're creating more value. So that's one of the areas that we look at. Innovation is part of value chain management. Innovate, plan. Innovate means looking for improvements. Usually improvements are not some huge gigantic thing. They're more incremental in nature. The success of value chain management lies in systematic and consistent application to looking for areas to improve in all these organizational activities. Process and leadership. Some of the areas that can most help create our efficiencies are better demand forecasting. And what that really means in English is how many are we going to sell, which is always a tricky proposition to figure that out. Can we process change and process improvement is another area where we see manifestations of this in outsourcing. Very, very powerful movement. Human resources, the best people that we can afford to get our jobs done. And that's, people are part of this value chain proposition. Obstacles, things that, because you would think everybody's in favor of this, well, maybe not. There might be organizational barriers such as resistance to change, resistance to training. They are people problems largely. Cultural attitudes may affect this without a doubt, cross-culturally. This can't be ignored, just like all the other areas that we've discussed. Contemporary issues involve quality initiatives. Project management has become a more mature activity. So we've been able to make this happen and improve, because now there's a PMI, Project Management Institute, you can get certifications. We've talked about it in class about Microsoft Project, and there are other softwares that do this, and they do help in process improvement. Quality dimensions, service dimensions, these are judged by the market. This isn't something that the owner of the establishment can judge. He can set up standards, but the ultimate standard is what the market decides whether or not it's a quality product for the money. Doesn't mean you produce the absolute best, but for the money you might produce the best. Goals, project management, like we've talked about, Gantt charts, just when one process needs to be done before another one can start. Load charts, work scheduling, PERT diagrams. If you go to the link on MyUSF and it has the one about Quick MBA or the Quick MBA, it discusses PERT diagrams in great detail. It's and this is part of the discipline of project management. Here we go. There's that flow of processes. And that takes us to the end of Chapter 15. Thank you for your attention, and all the best to you.